Hi everybody. I'm making this video because it's about a subject that's very important to me. Recently, um, bullying has been getting a lot of attention in the media, and I'm here to stress a point that I think is very relevant and very important, which is that I believe that teachers have the most control when it comes to bullying, and they should be having a bigger part in preventing it and dealing with it and to stopping it. Um, I spoke to somebody that is a teacher, and she told me that there was a girl in her class that was afraid of bullying by other students in a group. She was in a reading group that was for um, readers that weren't very well. When she accelerated, they put her in a separate group, and all the other children in the group that she was now in were making fun of her and teasing her and threatening her. And the teacher was aware of all this, but the teacher just moved the student back into the worst group with the lower level, just not to deal with any drama, any problems. But I feel as if the teacher were to get involved and said, listen, I heard you, you're all getting in trouble now, and how could they just let that slide? They should say, like now that you're punished for doing this. The student shouldn't be going backwards in her education and still fearing these children because the teacher is scared of what? Like the teacher's scared of the kids not liking her. The teacher's scared of looking bad with the other teachers. Like, oh, that's the teacher that was right and stuck up for the child. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And kids will not stop unless they have a consequence. And the consequence should be punishment, very bad punishment, because they should not be allowed to keep doing this to anybody. It shouldn't be ignored. No way. And I also think that within classrooms, you should be taught. It should, like, what are they? First of all, like, half of the stuff that you learn in school is repetitive, and it's stuff that you're going to keep learning over and over and over again throughout all of your schooling. So what would it do? What bad would it do to say, okay, well, we're going to have time set aside so everybody in class can bond with one another, can learn from each other, about each other, and grow closer as people and have feelings towards other people and understand the way they are and their lifestyle and their culture and everything else. I don't really think that when you're in elementary school, middle school, that they should be ignoring social factors like communicating with people that are different from you, because they're just going to be segregated into their own little groups all throughout high school and forever, and they'll always live in a bubble. Why is nobody understanding that this is a very strong thing? Teachers are supposed to be the teacher, the authority. They're supposed to be the ones that say, listen, if you're mean, you're not getting away with it. And you're not, there's no reason for you to be mean. The kid should be making fun of other kids that make fun of other kids. Like, why? What's wrong with them? You don't understand how they are? Like, where is that in any schooling I've ever seen? I've never seen it. And if you've seen it, that's good, because I've never heard of it. And I think that it's something that's ignored, because when you're in middle school and you're in elementary school, you're spending most of your day and your life in school. So why aren't you learning how to accept people and learn from people's cultures and become friends with everybody? Why isn't that included? Going over the same exact things year after year, sitting next to some kids that, like, you don't know anything about and treating them as if they're total strangers, that's good? No. The whole chunk of being a human being is missing within classrooms. Teachers should be trained to say, listen, you respect everybody. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to learn how to deal with people. These are different religions, different cultures, different nationalities, races. What is being taught here? The same multiplication tables a million times? Like, seriously, like, yeah, education is important, but not as important as learning how to be a human being with feelings. Because if you ignore it, these people are just gonna grow up and continue being monsters. So next time you blame it on the kids, it is the kids, but they aren't being taught differently, and it's just being accepted and brushed off as if it's nothing, and that is horrible because it's causing a lot of pain and unnecessary. It's not a complete human being. Like, no, no, this should be brought up. If you know just try to do something. I mean, it's such a big issue, but it starts within the classroom with teachers telling their students that if they don't treat their kids as equals amongst themselves and everybody, that there's going to be problems, because you can't. And if a child is scared, the teacher should be taking the blame, because what is a teacher going to be scared of? The PTA? Like, what? The kids are who are learning and who they're there to help, not their reputation to be saved and just be like, oh yeah, well, whatever, they're lower class, they're this, they're that. No, that's not a teacher. And if a teacher's like that, they should just be fired, because they're not fulfilling their job. There's enough, I've heard that there's like no positions to get jobs. Right now, it's very hard for teachers to get jobs. Well, they should be getting rid of the bad teachers that have no remorse towards any kind of bullying, because they're not needed at all.